Hello Kita Queens and Kita Beauty Tees. I'm back with the client video, but this one is going to be a total transformation, so we're just about to get into it. Starting off, I'm going to start by doing her hair, and this wig was sent to me from Dsoar hair. As y'all can see, I have plucked this wig. Okay, this wig has been plucked. It's been freshly washed and blow dried, so now I'm just going to be installing it on her head. If you keep up with my channel, then you know this wig has already been featured on my channel, and when I did a video on it, I was telling y'all that it was too big for my head, so I decided to go ahead and apply it to Maya's. So I'm taking my Got To Be Glue gel, and I'm just going to be putting this all around the perimeter of her head. Once I have the gel applied all around her hair, I'm going to go in with my fan and get it mostly dry. Notice how I said mostly dry, not all the way dry. I'm just trying to get it a little sticky. Now I'm taking the lace and I'm pulling it down onto the gel. And y'all, this wig was a little big for her head as well. So as you can see, I'm just trying to put a lace down in sections, and there are still some rebellious pieces that did not want to stick down. So I ended up having to force it down, and the way you force it down is you take a section of hair from the front and you just pull it down, and when you pull it down, the lace will come down as well. So I just did that all over her head. And this is my cousin, by the way, just in case y'all are wondering why we're talking the whole video. This is like one of my top faves. Like, I love her so much. But as you can see, I went around and just forced the hair down. Now I'm cutting off the lace around her ear. To further adhere everything in place, I'm going to be taking a silk scarf and just tying it around the lace. So I let this scarf rest on her head for about a good 5 to 10 minutes. And once I felt like everything was dry, I just took the scarf off and I brushed the hairs back. And when I brushed them back, I took an eyebrow razor and just cut off any excess lace that did not want to stick. Once all the lace has been cut, I'm just going to proceed to styling her hair. And she just knew she was cute, y'all. But I decided to go ahead and add some curls in the hair. And if you know me, you know that I love to curl with the flat iron. So I'm just taking this flat iron and I'm positioning it going back. And then I'm just dragging it down to create the type of curl that I wanted. And I also wanted her part to be pretty messy. I didn't want to have a defined side part. So I just decided to flip the hair over instead. Now that I'm finished curling her hair, I'm just going to do her baby hairs. And to swoop them in place, I'm just using some foaming mousse and an edge brush. As y'all can see, I just added her 2 little swoops, and I think I did pretty good if I do say so myself. But now I'm going to take a little bit more of that mousse and I'm using it to lay down the flyaways. And once I've done that, that'll be the finished result for the hair. So we're basically going to be getting into the makeup. Y'all already know I'm starting by cleaning off her face. Now I'm just going to go ahead and do her eyebrows. So I'm just brushing them out and then I'm going to start filling them in. And to fill in her brows, I'm using my LA Colors dark brown eyebrow pencil. To fill in the front of her brows, I'm going in with a lighter shade of eyebrow pencil. This one is from Nightcap, and I love to use a lighter shade at the front just to have a nice blended effect. And then I brush it out just to make sure there are no harsh lines. To clean up her brows, I'm going to be using my Nightcap concealers in the shade number 3 and number 4. First, I'm taking shade number 3 and I'm going to be using it to clean up underneath her eyebrows. I only use this shade to clean up underneath her arch, and then the remainder of the way I just went in with shade number 4. Now that I've created a nice crisp line underneath her eyebrows, I'm going to go in and buff the concealer out using my buffing brush. Y'all, if it seems like I was moving pretty quick in this video, it's because I was. Once I finished her hair, I felt like I was so pressed for time, and I wanted her to be on time for her event, so yeah, I was moving pretty quick. But now I'm going ahead and I'm cleaning up the top of her brows using that same shade number 4 concealer. Now that I have this eyebrow nice and cleaned up, I'm just going to repeat the process on the other side. And y'all, just look at her baby hairs. I feel like I did so good. Like, I need to pat myself on the back because y'all don't know how to do no hair. But I feel like I did fairly decent. Yes, y'all, get into these brows. Like, get into it. I think I perfected her brows just for this video. Like, they look perfect. That's it. But once I'm finished with the brows, we're going to be getting into the eyeshadow. So for an eyeshadow base, I'm taking my Be Perfect eyeshadow primer, and I'm just going to be applying this all over her lids. Now I'm just buffing out that base using the same buffing brush that I use to buff out her eyebrows. Once I have this base fully packed on, we're just going to be getting into eyeshadow, and today I'm going to be showing y'all a beginner friendly eyeshadow look. So I'm taking this Fit Me pressed powder, and it's in the shade Mocha, and I'm just going to be packing this on her eye using this blending brush, and this color will be serving as our transition. For the next shade, I'm going to be taking this shimmering white shade from my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm just going to be packing this all over her lids. Y'all, this eyeshadow look is so easy and so simple. You can do this on any skin tone, on any client, and it doesn't have to be neat whatsoever since it's not a cut crease. So yeah, I'm just packing this shade on and blending it into the first shadow that we use. Now I'm going back in with that blending brush, and I'm just making sure I have my edges well blended out. Now that I'm finished with the eyeshadow, I'm going to be taking my Wet n Wild black liquid liner and I'm using it to create a thin line across her eye. Moving on to the face, I'm going to be taking my Pond's moisturizer and I'm going to use this to moisturize her skin. Now that her face has been fully moisturized, I'm taking my calamine lotion and I'm using it to prime her skin. For her foundation, I'm actually using my Nightcap concealer. It's in the shade number 4. And y'all, I recently discovered that these concealers make as perfect foundations. Like, I think I'm gonna just go get the whole thing just to use it as foundation because it's so perfect and it's so flawless and it's very easy to blend. So if you haven't tried it, make sure you try it. But I ended up blending shade number 3 and number 4 to get the perfect skin tone, and now I'm just buffing it into her skin using this buffing brush. And I bought this brush from Profusion, y'all. I don't know if they still sell it anymore. I feel like it came with the palette, but I don't know. It's like 3 years old, if not older, but it's one of my favorite brushes. So I'm just using it to press this foundation into her skin. To contour her face a little bit, I'm taking a contour shade from my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette, and I didn't want it to be too deep or too dark, so I'm applying it to her face using this fluffy angle brush. And then I decided to mix it with my Juvia's Place foundation stick, and this one is in the shade Catsina. Y'all, she was taking pictures, so I didn't want her look to be super duper harsh or too drastic. I wanted everything to look as natural as possible. So once I have it applied, I'm gonna go ahead and highlight her skin. I bet y'all can guess what song she was singing, but I'm gonna highlight her skin using my Nightcap concealer, and I believe this one is in the shade number 2 and number 3. I'll have it in the description box. Before I blend this out, I'm going to go back in with shade number 4, and I'm using this clean up under her contour. As y'all can see, this side of the wig did not stick down whatsoever because it's still a little big for her head. That's why I decided to put the part on that side to mask it. But as you can see, the other side is laid, so I think I still did good, period. But as you can see, I'm taking my Real Technique sponge and I'm using it to blend out this concealer. To blend out the highlighted areas of her face, I'm taking this brush from Real Techniques. I believe it's their setting brush or powder brush, I'm not sure, but I'm just using it to tap in this concealer. Now, before y'all say anything, I'm well aware that I did not blend out the highlight of her nose, but I'm saving it because I'm going to be contouring her nose. I went ahead and set the highlighted areas of her face since I had already blended out her under eyes. And to set them in place, I'm using my Fit Me pressed powder. I forgot the shade name, so I'll make sure I include it in the description box down below. Now I'm going to blend out the highlight of her nose, and to blend it out I'm going to be using this small eyeshadow brush, and I'm just tapping it in place. I was trying to keep it in the same form that I applied it in just to make it easier to contour. And once I begin to contour, I'm just taking a shade from my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour palette, and I'm just applying it to the sides of her nose. To set her contour in place, I'm going to be using my Fit Me pressed powder in the shade Mocha. To clean up under her cheekbone contour, I'm taking my Fenty loose powder, and this one is in the shade Honey. Now that the powder is pressed in, I'm going to go ahead and work on her lower lash line. So I'm just taking this black gel liner and I'm using it to line her waterline. I like to take it on a Q-tip because it makes it so much more easier to apply, y'all. Just if you don't take any other tip, take that one. But now I'm just taking some dark brown eyeshadow. This one is from my this one is from my Jaclyn Hill palette, and I'm just applying this to her lower lash line using this angle brush. I wanted her eyes to have a smoky effect, so now I'm taking the brown eyeshadow from my Juvia's Place Zulu palette and I'm using it to blend out those two black shades. My girl just knew that she was cute, y'all. Like, she felt the slay, okay? She was like, I'm a baddie, I'm a baddie. Right here, she telling y'all to trust the process, period. Because trust the process, baby. Y'all already know. Right here, I'm just taking my foundation brush and I'm patting in all of that powder that I had resting on her face. Now I'm just going in with lashes, and these are the lashes that I decided to go with. I didn't have to cut them to fit her eye because she has, you know, a pretty good eye space, but I'm just putting them on her eyes. I wanted her lashes to be not long but still dramatic, okay? That's why I decided to go in with these short thick ones, and y'all are about to see the effect that they're giving. They were giving very much fierce, very much pretty. I decided to take some dark brown eyeshadow and use it to blend out the end of her liner, so that's what I'm doing right now. Now I'm just going to spray everything in place using my setting spray, and then I'm going to fan it out. To highlight her face, I'm going in with the eyeshadow from my Jaclyn Hill x Morphe palette, and as you can see, I'm just applying it to her cheekbones, and I already applied it to the tip and to the bridge of her nose. Once I'm finished doing that, I'm gonna go ahead and start on her. Y'all know I love me a good nude ombre lip, so I'm just lining her lips using my LA Colors dark brown eyebrow pencil. Since I'm doing an ombre lip, I'm going to go around the perimeter of her lips with this pencil. Then I'm going to go back in and fill in the corners. Now I'm taking this nude lip gloss from Absolute New York, and I'm applying this to her lips. I like to focus it in the center, then have my client pat their lips out a little bit. After that, I take whatever excess is left on the lip applicator and just work it into the liner. I wanted her lip to be a little more glossy, so I went on top of it with this glitter gloss. You can find it at your local beauty supply store. But after I finish that, that'll basically be the finished look. So we'll be getting into the grand reveal, and I'm just gonna let y'all watch.
Ooh, big reveal. Okay. Ah! Don't be me. Don't be me. Because you're looking at the baby.
Okay.
If your mama did never show you
oh
a bag.
My goodness.
Oh, this is.
Okay, this is.
Period. And if y'all ain't came, you better come here. Link will be below.
Below.
Book a time and a date and don't be late. Okay. You must don't know me, baby. Hey!
As y'all can see, this tutorial was another success. She was feeling herself to the highest degree, and this look came out so bomb. This is the video that I recorded on my phone. If you enjoyed this tutorial, like I hope you did, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and make sure you stay tuned for my next one. Bye-bye.